up, my homies? We're in the garage. And I'm super stoked, dude. I was on the edge of my seat, like all fired up. The girl was like calling me, hey, come do this. And I'm like, I'm busy watching live tournament coverage yesterday. Bassmaster is not gonna like this video. They're not in a very good place right now with all the negative stories, and we'll talk about a little bit of that in a second. But yesterday was the pinnacle, the epitome, the awesomeness that tournament fishing can be. Jacob Wheeler and Jake Lawrence went literally head to head for like an hour and a half, dude, back and forth, just smash grabbing the lead. And you know, Jacob Wheeler, dude, he's like the KVD of our time with tournament fishing. To see him kind of battling it out, it was seriously epic, dude. And when it comes down to it, with all the negative stuff in tournament fishing, these are the kind of stories we need to highlight, and this is the stuff we need more of. Check out this clip. It had me on the edge of my seat, dude. Like, the tensions were high. It was amazing to watch. It was pure competition. It made you feel like you were actually watching a sport.
Wheeler's hooked up here.
Come on, one more.
He needs 3-7 to take the lead. Oh my. Oh my.
Here. What do we need?
£3, 12 ounces.
Wheeler leads it with 5 minutes to go. Jake Lawrence has caught just one scoreable bass here in the last 36 minutes, and he has been overtaken by Wheeler, who trailed by 11 pounds and 12 ounces with an hour left. But Wheeler's got another.
I don't know if that's scoreable or not. No.
Doesn't want to take the time to weigh it in. Didn't feel like it was scoreable. Lawrence is hooked up. Has to have it over the gunnel of the boat before time expires. It also must be 2 pounds. Lawrence gets it in. He'll get it on. Jake Lawrence.
Are you kidding me?
At the wire.
It really just happened.
To have this one over the gunnel of the boat. Time has expired. He won't get it in. It might have been the winner. This will be the winner. Lawrence with the wire seals it.
Are you kidding me?
Just in the nick of time.
Oh, give me some of that blood. I don't even care about the camera.
Totally ridiculous, right? And you know what? It's kind of a Cinderella story too. I think there's so many angles to this that are beautiful, that are good, that are positive outlooks for fishing. You know, you have Jacob Wheeler. He's a pinnacle of the sport, dude. And I would say probably like our time's KVD, you know, he's dominant. He just smashes them no matter where he goes. He's won multiple tournaments, bunch of money, and he's just one of those guys who's like a true competitor. Well, to have Jake Lawrence kind of like creep up on him and then go for like blow to blow to blow back and forth, like, it was awesome, dude. It's like a Cinderella story, man. Like, and then he comes in and squeezes it in with like 30 seconds. Like, this is good stuff, dude. Like, it's fun to watch. It's like a real sport, you know? Like, God forbid fishing actually gets kind of serious like that. That kind of leads to another thing. So, the format. I know a lot of guys diss MLF on the multiple fish format. And, you know, I kind of did too at the beginning. And I'm still, in the end, I guess, a 5-fish guy. You know, I always want to catch 5 bigs, see what you can put down. But there's no way in hell you'd get a finish like this with a 5-fish format. And what really happens with this multiple fish cumulative format is every fish counts, right? Like, they put a minimum on it, which I think was a good move, like a minimum of 2 pounds. It depends on the lake. In this case, it was a minimum of 2 pounds. But like, every fish matters, dude. And you build that weight. So you're chasing numbers. You can use kind of a strategy to chase bigs as well. And that's what we saw here. We saw a mix. Jake Lawrence had like an 8-2 or something. He ended it with a 5-9 that actually sealed the deal. But even Wheeler was catching like upper threes with I think he had one that was like 5 and a couple 4-pounders mixed in. So it's interesting how you can kind of play this format, but in the end, you need to catch them. You know, and I think it's cool for the viewer because I want to see how these guys are getting bites. I want to see what they're doing and how they're shifting, because you can't go on a drought. You can't go on a dry spell because somebody else is going to bounce around and find them. The other thing, and once again, controversial, right? I know a lot of you guys are not fans of forward-facing sonar, but there has to be some kind of happy medium with this tournament thing, right? Like, a lot of people don't want it all the time, kind of like, but some people like want it sometime. And I'm one of those guys who want it sometimes because I want to learn about both angles. But how do you balance it out, right? To still have viewers engage with that tournament live stream, with the tournament watching, but at the same time, like, feed stuff to guys like me who actually want to learn about the forward facing. And I think MLF found that kind of a good balance where they allow anglers to use it for one period and they can kind of pick, right? So you get that flexibility, and then what happens is you see, you know, 2 or 3 guys, 4 guys, 5 guys have it on, and then another 5, 6 guys during the live don't have it on during that period, and they kind of bounce back and forth between the two. So for somebody like me who wants to see OG traditional classical fishing and some of that forward-facing sonar, I'm able to watch both at the same time and kind of draw clues, tips, understand what they're doing. I think that's cool. I know a lot of guys are still pissed because they want it totally gone. Little newsflash to you, dude. It ain't going nowhere. It's never going to be totally gone. So you got to find a happy medium. That's reality versus, you know, ideals kind of thing. The other cool thing, and this has to do with the forward-facing sonar, like, this derby got won on a damn buzzbait, bro. Like, of all the, like, the lures, like, I don't think Jay Kawar has put like a buzzbait as a winning bait in a tournament post in God knows how long in his email blast. Like, that's legit, dude. Like, it's crazy how kind of, you know, when you open these formats and you make things a little bit different, whether it's a cumulative fish, whether it's choosing which period or not being able to use forward facing all day, it really changes the dynamic of the baits that you can use too. And I think that's one of the important things. We see guys implementing things in somewhat of the old school ways, but also in new school ways. He caught an 8 change on a buzzbait, dude, early in the day, and then he literally closed it down with a topwater buzzbait, bro, like with a 5.9. That's ridiculous. That was just super cool. So Bassmaster has been having all these problems, and Bassmaster really is like the pinnacle, the elite of tournament fishing. They sort of like started the whole game, you know. I would say they are the standard, right? And they've always been a little, I look at some of the Bassmaster stuff as being a little bit haughty, you know, maybe a little bit of snooty, put up your nose, but they are kind of they have the mystique of being the original, and they've always run a very tight ship. Well, that's not really the case right now. Like, they've had some terrible press. Like, the Scott Martin thing, no matter what your perspective is, it just doesn't look good from either side, right? It looks messy, it looks political, it just looks like personalities clashed and there's a bunch of dirt on both sides, and it is no bueno, as you could say. The other thing is, I don't know if you guys saw this, you know, Slick Johnson, he's a guy up here. He had some spout or something, I don't know the exact details, but with the chief editor of Bassmaster, well, the chief editor of Bassmaster got canned by Bassmaster, and then he comes out threatening to like totally spill the beans on all this negative stuff, saying like Bassmaster, they put on this facade of being like a family organization, you know, an organization for the anglers. It's all a lie, and we are going to tell about it. And then ironically, like, I don't know if the lawyers caught up with him or what, but he ain't saying nothing now. The point is Bassmaster has mud on its face right now. And then you get a Cinderella story like this, so it kind of creates like a contrast, because this was like one of those blue collar, great story narrative wins. Dude beats one of the best in the sports, like the KVD of our time, and it happens in this epic buzzer beater down to the wire way. Like, that's what we want tournament fishing to be. If you can tell, I like this look. Like, dude, I was on the edge of my seat. Like, the tension level was super high. I'm sitting there like watching it, like getting closer to the TV. Like, with all the hype and puffery and cheating and fighting stuff that goes into sort of like hyping up videos, hyping up content right now, like, to see a story that's just hype in itself, that's hype based upon the pure competition of it, like the buzzer beater, the pure sort of like one-on-one, just sports-like feel was awesome. Dude, like that's what you want. Like, the story has its own tension. It has its own hype. It doesn't need all these extra little kind of throw-ins to make people watch it or make people enjoy it. And that, to me, was what tournament fishing should look like. I'm not saying the format is perfect when it comes to MLF with the cumulative fish, and I'm not saying the format is perfect with the forward-facing, but there's something there, because the way this tournament turned out was absolutely epic. And what's even more interesting too, this is the second tournament they'd had on the Tennessee River. The Red Crest was out here where Dustin Connell won. It was the exact same dichotomy. You had guys fishing for largemouth on the lower to mid end of the lake, and then you had guys fishing for smallmouth spots and even largemouth, but way up on the upper end of the lake on the dam. Well, during the Red Crest, Connell won on the upper end. During this one, Jake Lawrence won on the lower end. So it shows that like there's variability and just a huge ability to have really dynamic tournaments that show off fisheries in completely different ways. And at the same time, you can be successful and win in both of those ways, or in both those kind of like polar opposite representations of a fishery. It was positive. It was great competition. It's what you want to see in a tournament. And it happened yesterday. Go watch it. It's on the MLF website. You can see the whole live stream. I just showed you a clip. But basically the last hour, dude, like you're on the edge of your seat. You're like, oh my God, he caught one. And it's back and forth, back and forth. Wheeler makes this run and like closes on the lead. It was ridiculous. It was freaking great to watch, dude. Let me know what you guys think. I'm interested in your opinion because I know some of you guys are tournament fans and non-tournament fans. Drop it down in the comments box. We will see you back talking fishing and actually talking about how to catch fish, rigging lure. I got a little secret video coming up for you, so you'll enjoy that. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you later, homies.